All right, Daddy's dishing. Guess what? I'm going head to head with Deb. You don't know who Deb is? Look up Smitten Kitchen and let me tell you about how much I love this woman in my life. This woman in my life is basically responsible for about 80% of my meals during the week, okay? What Deb does is she takes regular recipes and then she works through them and works through them, works through them. And then she blogs about it and she gives us the best version of what she thinks works. And I'm going to tell you 99.9% of the time, Deb is on the money, okay? She is somebody who we call Deb in my house because we feel like we know her. And when I was catering, she was somebody I used all the time because when you're creating events for people, you're doing it from appetizers, drinks, all the way through the main course, and then desserts, sides, all that kind of stuff. And you need inspiration, and Deb is one of those people that does it all. And so if you need a variety, a change up, something new, something exciting, I know that Deb has done all of her work to give me the best product available. And like I said, she's 99.9% right all of the time, baby. So today, you're in the Daddy Dishes kitchen, and we're making Marsala chicken. And this is a recipe my wife asks for all the time. So if you go to smittenkitchen.com and put in Marsala chicken, you're going to see her blog on it and what you'll need for the ingredients list. I loosely use recipes. My wife hates that, but I don't care. I kind of take a look at it, get the gist of it. You know, a cup in a chef's mind is a cup in a chef's mind. We don't have to, I don't need to measure that out, right? So we're going to go simple. We're going to do our chicken, do our onions, our mushrooms, and we're going to put it all together, and it is sexy and buttery, and then it's going on some noodles tonight, and I can't wait. All right, so I chopped my onions, I chopped my mushrooms, now I'm on to the chicken. Now Deb's original recipe called for chicken breast, but right at the end, you can see that she calls for chicken thighs and said that actually the addition of using chicken thighs versus breast was way better. I love a good thigh, honey, and you know why? It's juicy. Yeah, juicy thighs only in this kitchen, baby. So Deb, my best friend, says you need to make sure that it's dry. You need to cut it into pieces. I'm not going to cut mine into pieces. I'm actually going to leave them as a whole thigh unless they're really massive. Yeah, I got a couple massive ones in this pack, right? So these are boneless, these are skinless. She did also say that she leaves her skin on. I feel like this dish does not need the skin on. And this is where I go head to head with Deb. She doesn't know that I'm talking about her in this video, but she does call for about 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs. All right. So, like I said, I don't like to measure. I just like to guesstimate. So that's like a pound. So we're gonna go with about 8 of these thighs. That will give us leftovers. And I think I told you that I cut up about 3/4 of a cup of mushrooms. I'm a liar. I had to go back and look at the recipe. It's I'm just looking at it, 3/4 of a pound. So you'll see I got way more than 3/4 of a cup. I was like, oops, I told the nice people a wrong thing. All right, let's give me one more chicken thigh. Okay, so always make sure you're cleaning. So I'm gonna wash my hands. And after I'm done seasoning these, I'm gonna wash this board and my surface really well. All right, give me a little salt. She said pat them dry, but they're actually already dry. If they had skin on them, they might be a little more moist. moist. All right, so those are seasoned. Now she calls for some olive oil and some butter. She's got some measurements. I'm just gonna use my eye. Hold tight and I'll be right back with that. All right, so Deb's saying that in my pan, I should have 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil and 3.5 tablespoons of butter. So we're melting that. I've got it on a medium-ish to high heat. And those beautiful chicken thighs are gonna get browned in here. And then we're gonna remove them onto a plate, and that's when we do the onions and the mushrooms, and we put all the love back in there, and the chicken, and they get married, and they're gonna have a long life together and be in complete love. And you're gonna see how this is gonna go down. You're gonna be loving the fact that I shared this recipe with you. But I can't take all the credit. My girl, Deb Perlman, Smitten Kitchen. I'm telling you, where would my life be without this woman? I don't know. We're basically, she's like a third in my relationship. She doesn't even know it. Anyway, all right, so as soon as that butter melts, we're gonna get cooking with Crisco. I don't know if you can hear it because my laundry is going, but you can hear that oil and butter spitting a little bit in the pan, which means that pan's ready to accept the chicken thigh. Remember those chicken thighs? About 2.5 pounds. For those of you that need a number, I got 8 chicken thighs. And we're gonna put them in this pan and get them nice and golden brown on both sides. And then we're gonna remove them from this pan. Who doesn't like butter melting in a pan? Come on now. Like if I was in real estate, I would just put butter on the back of the oven. You know how they say make cookies? I will put like onions in one pan, butter in another pan, and bacon in the other pan. I will buy the house. All right, remember the board. We got chicken goo on it. We gotta wash it right away. Nobody likes a dirty kitchen. Nobody wants to get sick. Clean it up, people. All right, I'm getting ready to flip these. I just had a little sneak peek underneath that chicken for that golden brown color, and I'm happy with what I'm finding. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flip them over. And I'm gonna do the other side, and then we're gonna take them out and put them on that plate and continue this cooking. All right, so I'm happy enough with the way that my chicken looks. It's got a nice brown color on it. I'm gonna take it and move it to a side plate until it's time to reintroduce it to the dish. So remember that onion I julienne at the beginning, and my mushrooms, they are standing by. Now Deb does say that you should remove a little bit of this liquid, but I didn't add as much. I probably just didn't add as much butter, just enough. And I cooked this chicken high enough, it evaporated some of that fat. So I don't want to lose any of this delicious fat that's in here. In go the onions. We're gonna saute those a little bit, and then we're gonna add the mushrooms. And then we're gonna get boozy up in here. Right? Am I right? Is there no better smell than cooking onions and butter? So I'll probably give these about 5 minutes on their own, and then I'm gonna introduce the mushrooms to them, and then we'll cook down the mushrooms, and Deb says to evaporate the moisture by half. Once the mushrooms are in, I'm gonna show that to you, and then we're gonna make it all happen in this one little pan. So, I've added my mushrooms. Hope you can see that. A lot of steam. I still got it on a medium to high heat, and I actually was wrong. I said we're gonna reduce the liquid out of the mushrooms by half. No. What happens is when we start to put it in the pan, the moisture that lives within inside the mushrooms pulls out. There's a bit of salt in this dish, so that helps pull it out too. And what I'm gonna get is a nice sticky base of a mushroom and an onion. And at that point, I'm gonna add in, what does she say? Look. She says a half cup of dry Marsala. Well, like I said earlier, I don't measure anything. A chef knows what that looks like. If it's a little over, all the better for you, honey. Okay? So we're gonna just keep moving these mushrooms and onions in the pan. Can you smell it from here? Delicious. We're gonna get them nice and brown and sticky. And then we're gonna add in our half cup of Marsala. And then we're gonna add in a cup of chicken broth. Okay, people? So this is gonna take about 5 minutes. We're not far off. Some of that moisture is coming out. And I'll get back to you as soon as it's time to put in the Marsala. All right, so these chicken breasts have been back in this liquid for about 15 minutes. I turned them once, and now I'm gonna pull them out, put them off to the side. And this is when, if you need to, you can adjust your liquid. If it's reduced a lot and you want it a little more saucy, by all means, add in a little more of that chicken sauce. I'm just gonna pull these out and have a little look at my base. And then what you do is if you need to reduce it, you reduce it. This actually needs a little more liquid because I had it on a little bit of a higher heat. So I'm gonna add just a little more chicken stock right now. And then I'm gonna salt and pepper it. That's good. All right, let me put you down there. I don't know if you can still see me. Okay. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Big pepper. All right, and with that liquid, I'm just gonna, this is almost perfect. And then you're going to ladle it so beautifully over this chicken, and then you're gonna hit it with a little fresh parsley as you serve it. I'm not gonna do that now. I'm gonna put it back in here because I'm eating it at a later time because it's only mid-afternoon here and we're having it tonight. And then you can serve it with whatever you want. Potatoes, rice, noodles. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching when I go head to head with Deb.